years of doing what's right. Does that make you proud or what? Do we have any women in Primerica leaders in the house? You know, I'm excited to be here tonight with you. When we opened the doors to this company, February 10th, 1977, we wanted to build a different kind of company for a different kind of person. You know, maybe somebody who wasn't born with a silver spoon in their mouth, or maybe they didn't graduate from Stanford or Harvard or Yale or something like that, but they wanted to be somebody, and they wanted to do something special with their life. And we made a pledge that we would always make it better for the newest person. I don't know if it's 100 times better or 1,000,000 times better, but I can tell you this is the best time in the history of Primerica for the newest person. And each one of us have to use the decade of dominance to take our game to a whole new level. You know, I believe there's never been a better time to recruit and build a business and in Primerica as there is right now. All the people who have jobs and they live on fixed incomes, right, need money. I mean, inflation's at a 40-year high, and we got the best part-time business, bar none, and the best business opportunity in the world, folks, for the right person. See, I believe we're on the threshold of the most productive era in our entire company's history. And I think the last, 3 years have been a really important and transformative time for Primerica. We've had unprecedented success, and I believe it's because we weren't built like a corporation. We were built like a team. See, we're a leadership company, and the foundation of what we've been built on is close personal relationships and trust. That doesn't exist in corporate America. See, I believe the uniqueness of what helped us surge and break all the records through the toughest of times was that one element, right? It was that element of that ALW Primerica unity, and that has always been our winning edge. We just must never, ever take for granted and must always remember that freedom isn't free. Folks, we've proven to ourselves and to the world that we can give a different kind of person a chance to earn ownership and have freedom by doing what's right, by making people feel special, by delivering the right kind of financial products to families. And we have a unique business opportunity with a time-tested and a proven system and a very robust platform where you can be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Folks, you can build a predictable and recurring income because we benefit from multiple streams of income in the wealthiest industries in the world, in insurance, in investments, in mortgages, and many more. See, we are a company of destiny, and I have total confidence in our CEO, Glen Williams. Glen and the home office team, what they've done to navigate us through the last 3 years, I believe has been close to a miracle, right? Glen is totally committed to the field. He's fair-minded, right? He's tough, and he's inclusive. Folks, he's always working every day to make it better for us, and he's trusted and admired by the field and by the home office team. He gave us a Unity coin 2 or 3 years ago at a senior leadership meeting. I keep that with me right in my makeup bag. Every time I open my purse, I see that Unity coin, and I remember what a great team I'm part of. You know, our home office team is the best in the world. There's no doubt about that. They don't like it, they love it. Folks, it's not a job to them, it's their life. People like Peter Schneider, Julie Seaman, Bobby Peterman, the great John Frady, Debbie Thomas, Mike Burrows. Can you believe what Mike Burrows and his team have done to put this production on for us tonight? You know, but there are hundreds more. I know, isn't it amazing? There are hundreds more, and they're totally committed. Folks, listen to me. They're totally dedicated to making us the best at what we do. That one team, one dream is the unique unity and the bond of trust between the field and the home office. And let me tell you something, that doesn't exist in other companies. And I believe that's one of the reasons that we will dominate the financial services industry. See, we are the future of financial services. We're that colorful quilt. Absolutely. We're that colorful quilt of North America. We have successful examples of every size, shape, color, age, religion, you name it. We've got it. And if you look at the other companies in the industry, folks, they don't have anything like we do. They don't have a Women in Primerica, right? Led by Frances Everett and Susan Carrion and Mary Walker and Peggy and Alba and Mika and Gurpreet and Tonia Poe and Andrea Burks, Diana Macias, Nicole and Whitney, and I could go on and on and on. We have extraordinary. Hey, they don't have an AALC, right? Led by Ivan Earle and John Lennon and Renee and Gary and Collis and so many more. Listen, other companies like that, they don't have an HALC, right? Leading one of the fastest growing segments in our business today. And they don't have a partnership board, right? But the Carry-Ons and the DeFeos, folks would listen with emphasis and is in family as our priority. That's our priority. And they aren't focused on youth. They don't have Willie and Narena Lamrongho. They don't have Mario and Franny Arazan. They don't have Glen and Xiomara Lee. They don't have Miguel Illich. They don't have Art and Juana Martinez and hundreds more. See, Primerica is special, folks, because we stand on the shoulders of giants. Ronnie Barnes, Kip Ridley, Frances Everett, Jimmy Meyer, Keith Otto. Folks, the Buisson family, the Whittle family, the Safford family, giants like Jim and Mary Coker, Chris and Elizabeth Coove, Ivan Earle, so many folks. These people are giants. They're legends in our business. And we have a very rich and a formidable history. But I believe that the next 3 years will be a springboard for us into the next 20 years of greatness. See, we're at a divine moment right now. I hope you realize it. This will mark time. We will look at this convention and mark time. But listen to me, this has to be your defining moment. See, you can make mistakes every day, like I did and do, and you can build a big, profitable business. And I'm really speaking to our young leaders right now, our next generation of giants. Please listen to me for a minute. To grow Primerica into the unlimited possibilities of a company that we can, and the greatest company in the world, you must understand, you must remember, you got to practice and you got to honor the traditions and the foundation of values that we built this company on. That's why you have an opportunity. Remember where you come from. When I earned my RVP promotion, Art Williams said to me, Cheryl, it's your responsibility to be a local example of success in your community. And he said, when you wear the Primerica team, that uniform, you represent our tradition. Listen to me, guys. Being honest, being genuine, making and saving money, leading a clean, wholesome lifestyle. Do not play flash cash, right? Get yourself bulletproof. Be humble. These are our traditions. Remember where you come from. And keep your priorities straight of faith and family in your business. If you'll make a commitment to do your best, right, and play each day with passion, just leave it all on the field every day, right? You can have a goal of greatness. You'll have an extraordinary life. Your parents will be proud of you. Your kids will be proud of you. Your teammates will be proud of you. And most importantly, you'll be proud of you. You must work like never before to contribute to this historic moment. Make no mistake, this is a very historic moment. And you got to work like never before to contribute to this historic movement that we're on. There's no other company that has a decade of dominance. Our hierarchy theme this year is big. We got to dream big, you got to believe big, and you got to work big, you got to achieve big. But you got to understand that right now, right, you got to have a big dream. And then you got to have that dream that you can have ownership like you saw tonight. That's something you can pass on to your family. See, the Rockefellers and the Kennedys didn't get wealthy in one generation. Somebody figured it out, and they made it generation to generation in business, and they accumulated that. And they built a legacy for last. This is what I want you to know. I'm short on time, but you must know that you belong here. Your home, that this is it for you. This isn't a phase of your life. This is a way of your life, right? And you've got to write down and you got to know your top 10 goals and dreams, right? And you got to remember that what we sell is hope and opportunity and a pot at the end of the rainbow, right? I can tell you right now that if you look at middle-income families, we're really the only hope they have, because this company was built by dreamers, for dreamers, and you can use this convention to sell out and be completely, and I want you to know you can count on me, and you can count on our team. You can count on Gary and Coletta Martin, Charles and Carolina Kessler, the Suarez family, the Amazons, the Holmans, the Machucas, the Paynes, the Politos, the Durans, the Nortons, Cabaneros, and all of our leaders. The Bartlett Network of Champions is all in, and we're excited to be a part of that domination team. Let me close with this. I promise you this company will deliver for you and your family. I promise you our leadership team will deliver for you and your family, and I promise you that you're good enough to do it and win big. And together, we will build a company that will help more families become financially independent and become one of the greatest companies in the world. Let's use the next 90 days and go for it. Thank you very much.
I've heard when I first came into the business that we were born to succeed, but programmed to fail. We can't go back and change the past, but we can change it from this point forward. So there were 3 changes that we did along the way, right, that I think that helped us, okay? Number 1 was changing our daily habits. Changing our daily habits, you know, I used to think I was working in Primerica when I was just thinking about Primerica. And I remember, you know, I used to go to the office and think I was doing work, but I would be on the phone, and what I would do was I wouldn't dial anything. And the phone would weigh 1,000 pounds. And I remember going home exhausted, no appointment scheduled, no guest scheduled, no interviews, and I thought I was working. Had to change our work ethic, you know, because what is the proper work ethic, you know, is every single day, how many kitchen tables do we have? How many interviews do we have? And if we don't have anything scheduled during the course of the day, then it isn't really work, right? Everything else is derived from that. Second thing was doing the uncomfortable. You know, I remember, you know, one of the things that, I don't know if you guys are that way, but it was hard for me. I'm a night person. I don't like waking up in the morning, right? I will always hit the snooze button. But I would always wake up, hit the snooze button, wake up a little bit after. But I remember coming in full time, and I realized everybody else was getting a head start. So doing the uncomfortable, right? Doing the uncomfortable, getting the rejection. Coming into Primerica, we never understood, you know, what the work was. You know, I remember I was a waiter. I was the greatest starter ever in anything I ever did, right? If there was an employee of the week, of the first week, that would be me, but I would quit the second week. Everything we've ever done, we would quit, right? Until we came into Primerica, until we changed our influencers, right? And if you take a look at your phone, right? Your phone book, we had to change the people that were in our phone. I remember the people in our phone were, you know, people that we hung out on. I have my Thursday night list. Who can I call? Then I would have my Friday night list on who can I call. Then I have my Saturday list on who can I call. And I remember we used to party on Fridays, right? We would be super happy on Fridays, and then party on Saturdays and be broke on Sundays. And had to change the numbers on the phone. And then when we ended up changing, it's still crazy to us right now that we're here, right? But I look at our phone, and I look at the people that are on our phone today, you know, $1 million earners, people that are our heroes in the business, you know. It's crazy because the people that influenced us today, you know, I want to thank Bill and Leslie Whittle. I mean, you showed us that, you know, if you keep going, you can change the world, right? And Keith and Danielle for really working hard, playing hard, and the belief in us, right? The belief in us in the beginning, right? Because I know that he didn't just take us out on field training. He potty trained us in the business as well, all right? And we were hard to work with in the beginning. So it's so crazy, the people that influence you in this business, you know, like a Cheryl Bartlett, like a Jimmy Meyer, and all the leaders, the Bobby Buisan, you know, the people that we learned and were our heroes along the way. You know, and the last thing is changing lives to change your life. There's nothing like this out there. See, I'll never forget what Primerica did for Sio and I and our family, and to our extended family. Guys, we were born to succeed. There were two things I remember when I first joined this business that were weird to me, right? The culture is so weird in Primerica when you're new, because we're so used to going to a work environment where everybody's negative. So I came in wondering, number one, why was everybody happy? And number two, why were all the women taller than their husbands? And it's because we all got good taste. So with that being said, I'm bringing up the person that changed our lives, okay? Thank you to the Dragons, Empire Builders. Thank you to Primerica, okay? My beautiful wife, okay, Xiomara Lee.
That was awesome, babe. I love you. Love you, babe. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I know some people are ready for some food. Do we have some Empire Builders in the house? All right, what about those Dragons, right? Hey, I remember our first convention sitting in the nosebleed section, so shout out to you guys. We were just dreaming, praying that everything that they were saying was true. Guys, and today we're on the stage as $1 million earners. It's crazy. Primerica delivers above and beyond, so thank you, Primerica, for everything. We're not where we want to be. We know we have a long way to go, but we're just so excited about where we are. My hero, Glen, I love you, babe. I got your back all the way. And Keith and Danielle, thank you for pouring into us, loving on us, and just always being there for us. We're so indebted to you guys. Coach and Leslie, the impact that you've had on us, we're forever thankful. Patty and Dan, thank you, your family to us. I know Glenn hit on that, but we're just so grateful for you guys. Home office, the support. We're in business for ourselves, guys, but not by ourselves, which is exciting. And you Dragons, guys, we're going to do something special. I promise you guys. We're going back home and we're going to do something special. Hey, as I wind down, I want to tell you this story, inspired by Whitney Cooper. I want to tell you this story. She asked me to kind of talk about this a little today. But in 1989, and this is a true story, in 1989, there was an earthquake, an 8.2 earthquake in Armenia that almost flattened it out. And within minutes, almost 30,000 people lost their lives. And this one day, just like any other day that this father would take his son to school, anyone have children in here? And he'd take his son to school, and every day he'd tell his son, I'll always be here for you. Anyone tell their kids that? You can count on me, I'll always be here for you. And this father took his son to school that day, dropped them off, went home, and this earthquake happened, checked on his family, made sure that they were okay. And the first thing he did was run to the school to see if his son was okay. Well, when he got there, the building was as flat as a pancake. And all these parents were around screaming, yelling, my son, my daughter, and this father, all he wanted was his son's body. That's all he wanted. So he remembered where he dropped his son off to school, got on his knees, and starts digging. The parents are trying to pull him off, saying, what are you doing? They're dead, you have to come to terms with it. He said, I just want to see my son. Are you going to help me? And the parents said, no, we're not. He said, then get out of my way. 8 hours later, the fire department comes. He's still digging. They said, stop this. There's explosions everywhere. And he said to the fire department, are you going to help me? They said, no. He said, then get out of my way. 12 hours, 24 hours, he's still digging. And the police come and they say, stop this, you're causing a scene. He says to the police, are you going to help me? They say, no, there's too much stuff going on. He says, then get out of my way. 36 hours, 38 hours, he's still digging. And on the 38th hour, he picked up a boulder and he hears his son say, Dad, is that you? And his son, he said, Armand, give me your hand. And he says, no, Dad. See, I told my friends that you were coming for me. I told my friends that you'll always be here for me. And he says, save the other guys first. Get them. And he says, how many of them are there? There were 14 kids left out of 30. And he was able to help them. See, guys, when we get home, we're going to make decisions leaving this event. And when we get home, there's going to be guys that are saying, what are you doing? You're working on Sunday. What are you doing? And are we going to say, are you going to help me? And if not, get out of my way. Proud to be in business with you guys. Love you, Primerica. Thank you, guys.
I was thinking, what can I say coming to this convention? What can I say that can resonate with you, that would resonate for me? And that would be, I want to have a breakthrough. Do you want to have a breakthrough to power leaving this meeting? Yes. Well, let me tell you what. A breakthrough is on the way. I want to share things that have helped me over the last 19 months to get that breakthrough. I'm still working on it. I'm not there yet, but I'm growing in grace. I thought I'd never have to confront the challenge that I've had to confront. It's been very challenging. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very transparent, for those of you that know me. I lost the love of my life. I lost the father of my 4 daughters. We were sitting there the day after Thanksgiving, November 27th, having dinner, having a great time. And if you knew my husband, Keith, he was full of fun, always fun. And he had just come around and did a chokehold on me, and we were laughing and carrying on. My youngest daughter and myself and Keith. And I said something, and he responded back. I don't remember what I said, but I can tell you his last words. He said, why doesn't she just? And I said, just what? And he fell to the floor, and he was gone, just like that. Folks, I'm telling you, life is like a flicker. You gotta cherish it. You gotta cherish the people that you love. Tell them that you love. And one thing I can tell you, I lived a life with Keith of no regrets. I told him every day how much I loved him, how much I cared, and what a great man he was, what a great father he was. He never had to wonder about that. So make sure you tell the people that you love. I had to figure out how to move forward in light of adversity. My family and my team were counting on me. I had to, number one, I had to focus. Some of you have come here this week with your vision blurred. Too many things on your mind. But guess what? You're powerful when you focus. You get things done when you're focused. Because see, you know, I may not look like it, but I'm 65 years old, 65 years young. I don't know why I told you all that. I hadn't planned to. But that's why I wear the glasses. It's not for fashion. It's because if I take these bad boys off, y'all are just a blur. Just a blur, right? I can't see anything, just a blur. But guess what? I have blurred vision right now, but when I put my glasses on, ha! Now I can see you. I see you. I see the details. Now I'm focused. I'm fierce when I'm focused. Say that. I am fierce when I'm focused. The number 2 thing is you have to have courage. It takes courage to get that breakthrough. You gotta have courage to walk away from the familiar, to leave your comfort zone. Gotta step out of your comfort zone to have that courage. The courage to critique yourself, the courage to do an autopsy on your presentation, on your personhood, on your gravitas. That's an SAT word, by the way. The courage to break generational curses. You see, I come as one, but I stand for 10,000. There are so many that's come before me. I was the daughter of a carpenter who had an 8th grade education and a cook that had a 3rd grade education. I had to have the courage to do something different to save my family. That takes courage. To take my parents from a shotgun house that we grew up in, for those of you that don't know, in the North, that's when you shoot a gun through the front door and the bullet goes out the back door. Had to have the courage to get them a place where they can be proud of. It takes courage. You gotta bet on yourself. You gotta clap for yourself. You gotta be the best version of you, and that takes courage to be authentic to your core. It takes courage to dream. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. It takes courage to be successful. If you don't want to make waves, then be mediocre. But it takes courage to move forward. It took courage for you guys, some of you, to come to this convention. It took courage because you didn't have enough money. And some of you are piled in the rooms because you didn't have money, but it took courage for you to take that step to be here. And we're glad you're here. We're glad you made the decision to move forward regardless of where your situation stood. That takes courage. Takes courage to be different. And the 3rd thing is being fallible. You have to be fallible, meaning to embrace failure. Setbacks are part of any transformation. If you don't hit a brick wall once in a while, you're not pushing hard enough. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. I'm reminded of a story of a little boy that when he was growing up, he never talked. For 8 years, he didn't talk. And when he spoke, he stuttered, very embarrassed to talk. And he went to class every day, but he never said anything. And his teacher noticed him. And so she gave an assignment, and she said, I want you guys to write a story. And from that story, I want you to come up front, and I want you to read your story. So he wrote a story. He was a very good writer. And he went up front, didn't want to do it, begged his teacher, and she said, no, you got to do it. Because if you don't read your story, I'm going to believe you plagiarized it and it's really not yours. So he did it. And guess what? That was the beginning of something new for him in his life. That guy is James Earl Jones, the most recognizable voice in the world. Most of you know him as Darth Vader on Star Wars, or maybe Mufasa, my favorite Destiny, my favorite, not Destiny, but my favorite Disney movie, Mufasa. That was James Earl Jones. And kind of like me, embracing your failure. When I didn't pass my 26, and I knew I had to do that. I had all my licenses. Shameless plug for the partners, get your licenses. When I didn't pass my 26 the first time around, but I didn't quit. I had to embrace the failure. Embracing the failure doesn't mean that you stop, but you keep going. I had to keep going. And with the help of my tutor, David Castellaw, I passed my 26. You gotta keep going. You can't give up, you just gotta keep trying. Number 4 was resilience. I've had to learn the meaning of that word, resilience. Stay the course. It's not going to be easy, but you've gotta fight for your last name. Are there any fighters in here? You see, when Keith transitioned, my girls and I were distraught. I wanted to get in the bed, pull the covers over my face, and never come out. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody because the love of my life, he did everything. Keith did everything. It's like the little things, like emptying the trash on Sunday nights. He said, no wife of mine's going to empty the trash. Little things that he did, like making my coffee in the morning, little things. So I missed him. We were distraught. And so I wanted to just get in the bed, but I had to do a lot of self-talk, folks, because guess what? My daughters were watching. I have 4 strong daughters, and my team was watching. So I had to move forward. I couldn't let the legacy down. It had been planned for a long time. You see, the mind is a battleground. The mind is a battle. Don't let terrible days create negative momentum in your business. Thoughts are the greatest vehicle to change power. Let go of the energy that's clouding your success or holding you back. See, somebody told me that the power of life and death lies in the tongue. So be careful of what you say. Be careful of what you plan. And then the last thing is, I had to learn that I have got to continue the legacy by fighting for my last name. See, your last name is more important than your first name. You got to fight for your last name. Something is about to happen for you and your family. Success is not an accident. Success is orchestrated. You gotta fight for your fairy tale. See, Keith and I fought. We were married for 34 years and we fought. We fought for our fairy tale. We fought for our legacy. Keith and I always valued the family business and the business of family. Practice passing the baton to your family. Keep the faith, because guess what? It's a faith thing. God never gives you a dream that matches your budget. He's not checking your bank account. He's checking your faith. Plant that seed with your family. Plant the seeds of progression in your family. Plant the seeds. This is the Phillips Gang Gang, and that's Keith with the Phillips Gang Gang. My last slide. This is the legacy right here. These are our 4 daughters, all licensed. Sarah is an RVP, making over $150,000 an hour, right? Not an hour. $150,000, and she's got the green on. And then Chelsea is part-time, but we hope for her to go RVP this year. She's made $50,000 in the base shop. On the right is Jessica Ray. She's in Europe, but she's licensed and she consults with me. Actually, I've been on Zoom, texting with her this morning. And then my baby on the left, she does our back office. We are prepared for legacy. We are prepared for the transition. Get prepared. And the last thing I want to say to you guys is this: secure your future. Don't crawl, don't walk, but run after your destiny. God bless you. We love you.
You know, we got our new jersey here, got something to talk about for recruiting, and this is the 18 for 18 first generations. You need 9 first generations to go to SNSD 250,000 through 3rd. Came up with a concept that was announced last convention 3 years ago, Circle of Champions, 18 first, 500 through 3rd. So we changed it to COCO, C-O, with added the O. Circle of Champions owner, double SNSD, that's all. And I just want to shout out to great Andrea Burks right over here. At the last convention, she came in here. Since the last convention, we're here tomorrow, promoted 25 RVPs in 3 years, winter cash flow from 600,000 to 1.2 million since the last convention with none on her pen. Building a big, big business like the Buissons talked about. So proud of the whole COCO run. But anyway, we got so many great things to talk about. I got to hit this recruiting thing. Is the Pareto principle, my first slide. It's just 20% of the people do 80% of the work. Pareto was a guy who was an economist from Italy in the late 1800s. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. What's that mean? If you have a church dinner, 20% or thereabouts volunteer to set up the hall, cook the food, serve the food, and pick up the mess. 80% complain about why we ate roast beef again, or why we had to set it up this way or that way, all that other crap. 20% to 80%. So if that's the case, if you want 2 to do something, go to district, have a shot to do something, you better get 10. That's the whole mindset. 20%, 80%, that's nothing new. You've heard it your whole life, and it works here too. Next slide is 250 recruits. We talk about, oh my God, how many codes you got, how many codes you got. That's one thing, but think about this. The NFL, you can have 53 players on a team, on a roster. So you telling me that the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Atlanta Falcons have 53, and the Rams have 53? What does that mean? You got to constantly go get more people. Tom Brady went to down to Tampa. He said, I need 3 more guys, Leonard Fournette, Brown, and Gronk. He said, I need 3 more recruits after he got there, going for another Super Bowl. Those 3 guys that he recruited after he got there scored all 4 touchdowns in the Super Bowl that year. We always need more. So if it's 50 codes, you need, if a 20% ratio, and I heard the other day at the RP meeting, it might not be 20%, whatever yours is, we're going to go for, let's say, 20%. 20% of 100 is 20, but you're going to need to get 250 to get 50 codes. You want 100 codes, that's going to be 500. So you got to get in the mindset of getting 10 or more, like so many people have talked about the last few days. So double-digit recruiters, double-digit recruiter DDR teams. That's what you got to focus on, multiple teams. So a couple things on business maintenance. I went around a few places. Long and Foster's a guy out of the Washington, D.C. area. He sold to Warren Buffett later. But when I met him in the 80s, he had 200 offices with 6,000 agents. And I got to meet the guy and talk to him in his office. And he said, he goes, son, everybody likes to eat bacon and sausage in the morning, but nobody likes to talk about killing the pig. He goes, let me tell you how it works around here, because they're the prettiest, well-appointed offices. You walk in a Long and Foster office, you might break your ankle because the carpet's so thick. The best offices. He goes, son, we got to recruit it's crazy. We got to recruit 200 people a week, 800 a month, to have 10,000 people a year sign up to go to get a real estate license. So 2,000 of them will get a license to replace 2,000 of our 6,000 that'll be quitting next year. To maintain my business model, I need 200 recruits a week. And every office had recruiting classes forming. McDonald's, I talked to people in Franklin, Tennessee. 50 employees, got to have 10 to 12 new people every month, especially the 24-hour drive-through. I went to Waffle House, love Waffle House. 30 employees, 24 hours. Got to get 8 to 10 new people a month. Sound familiar, this double-digit concept? And then Jim and Nick's, a barbecue joint that's gone all over the country, originally out of Alabama. They got one right by the home office. Brett over there, the general manager, said, I got 60 employees working in here, and we have to hire 20 people every month to maintain our staff. If I don't do that, I'll probably lose my job. He said, I said, 20? He goes, 20 out of 20 we hire every month. He said 10 of them don't make it through orientation or the first shift. Now I know at Primerica that would never happen. We never have people go to the witness protection program. That would never miss them like that. But he said in order for him to maintain his staff to run that restaurant, he's got to go get 20. He has to get 20. We get to get 20. You're in business for yourself, and you get fired if you don't maintain that restaurant. Here, you got to think about your business. another thing I came up with years ago, and I just watched the numbers. I mean, I like to look at the numbers. And you need 3 separate legs doing 10 to get 50 recruits. I know it sounds like that's 30, but 3 separate legs, because it's not like, you know, Bayer got 10, I got 11, and Andreas got 12 because Bayer got 10. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 3 separate legs, go get 10, it'll be 50, because a lot of people are trying to get their 10, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 1, but 3 solid separate legs will give you 50. Also, 6 separate legs, and I watched this over and over my career. 6 separate legs will get you 100 recruits a month. 6 separate legs, 15 doing 10 a month, that's going to get you 250, SNSD territory. And dadgum, 30 a month to get you to 500, that whole Circle of Champions owner, get you to 500 by 500, get you to place. So you got to start looking at the numbers, and I mean, just a simple thing. So the thing that I thought about was Glen has, you know, issued a challenge the other day, the RVPs, that we want to have 50,000 recruits, 50,000 in the month of July. Well, the simple math on that, if we go back to the last slide, I mean, crap, if you know, all you got to do is do the math. If you need 50, 3, if you want 50,000 recruits, that's just 3,000 people. Look at this place. We need 3,000 people in this room to commit to go get at least 10 people in a month. Are there 3,000 people in here that can get 10? If you're one of the 3,000 for July, stand up. You're going to get 10 or more in July. You're going to be one of those 3,000 people, so we can go over 50,000 people. Make up your mind. You want 2 districts next month? Go get 10. Out of 10, 2, it's the Pareto principle, real simple math. The other thing is I want to challenge you guys to be the best you can be. You know, I joke with this Peggy Hightower, the great Peggy Hightower, you know, been in business with her forever, and she comes to meetings, and when she comes out, they played Billy Preston, you know, something from something leaves something, but you got to have something if you want to be. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something you want to be. But that's about that. Peggy comes out as Brick House. And she goes out and dances and grooves for about 5 minutes of her speech, and she's still a dancing fool. She'll bang the podium. She'll get you rocking in your chair, crying for your mama. It's like, oh, my God, Peggy's just, one day she came up to me when I qualified for SNSD back in the 80s. She came up to me. We were in the same office. And I said, okay, we got the numbers. We got SNSD. And she grabbed my shoulder and says, aren't you excited? And I said, yeah, I'm excited. She goes, no, aren't you excited? I said, I'm excited. If I was playing football, I'd knock your head right off your shoulders. But I don't waste no energy jumping up and down screaming. See, in a locker room, you got a bunch of people in there listening to crazy music, jumping up and down. You got some people just staring ahead. You got some people, you know, just got a little they're looking at and reading. They're doing their little routine before the thing. You got some people act like they're on drugs. I played ball in the 70s. I think some were probably on drugs, okay? All kinds of people. You be the best you can be. The great thing about this convention, you've seen every bit of Heinz 57 that could come across the stage. Pick one that suits you and say, I could go do that. I mean, you're not as good looking as William Buisan, I get that. But you play the best game you can be. You be the best you can be. Don't worry about being anybody else. If you embrace the numbers, the other thing is you gotta have eyes on fire with a burning desire. And if you don't have that, you ain't gonna do crap. The numbers by themselves, Peter did such a great job the other day with the tools in the golf bag. You have the greatest tools in the world, but it's you that's gotta go use those tools. Eyes on fire, burning desire. You better embrace that. In the month of July, if you're going to get 10 and multiple teams under you doing, you get 3 separate teams under you doing 10, you'll do 50, not 10. You get 6 other people that are down here get fired up, say, I'm going for 10. That could get you in 100. Break through some barriers. And the last thing is this. I am sick and tired of hearing C at the top. The Super Bowl and the national championship was played right down here. This is the playing field. This is where I used to do my work, where I still do my work. Get your ass out of the nosebleeds, and I want you to practice with me now. Here, I want to say it out, and you practice. We're going to do it twice. See you at the bottom because the top's too crowded. Okay, you ready? See you at the bottom because the top's too crowded. One more time. See you at the bottom because the top's too crowded. God bless you. We'll see you.
Listen, you guys, I'm so excited to be here. I mean, literally, this is my first time gracing the main stage as a $1 million earner. know you got a dream, and I know you from one of those little dark alley street corners like me. What are you supposed to be forgotten about, right? But Primerica gives you the opportunity to win, to shine. Somebody said to me, you know, without my braids, my hair is blue. Somebody said to me, you mean that you a part of a company on Wall Street and you got blue hair? I said, well, Glen Williams loves my blue hair. What do you mean? How about that? Listen, I want to thank Primerica for being here, for fighting for us. You guys have no idea, and the bigger you get, you will understand what I'm talking about. You know, Glen and Peter and Bobby and Julie and Camilla. Listen, these are my go-tos. And I can't believe I get to be a part of a company where they really listen to you. You have no idea. I know you're a district out there right now, and you probably got here on a wing and a prayer, right? You may not even know how you're getting home, but you're here, and it's okay, because somebody at home is talking about you. They telling you stupid, you crazy, you done lost your mind, you don't even have no money. Last week you was broke, and you did all of this to get to that. You done lost your mind. You ain't lost your mind, you found it. You here because you need to be here. You understand that, okay? They lost their mind because they didn't come with you, okay? I have to thank, you know, I wanted to talk about being thankful and just not forgetting where you come from. You know, I remember when, and I don't mean just not remember that I came from Compton. I'm talking about even in the business, not forgetting where you came from, not forgetting you came from the back of that room. I was a senior rep in the back of the room that couldn't get nobody to come to a meeting. You know, not forgetting that I came from, you know, Neil and Victoria Gerfine, where I would not be able to be here if it wasn't for them and their sacrifices. You know what I mean? I came from a Target parking lot, y'all. I was in Target and didn't know why I was there. I was broke. I had no reason to be there. I had a Target card with $48 on it. And I slid it for $52 and it worked. And I was excited. Listen, I was down on my luck. I was upset. I was mad. My daughter's father and I, Curtis, was not doing well. We was breaking up, going our separate ways. I didn't know if we were going to get back together, not get back together. But what I did know was this. After spending 15 years with somebody and I found this opportunity, what I did know was I was finna get in here and I was finna work and I was finna grind and I was finna make it happen and I was fixing to be a different person, and if we get back together, we do, and if we don't, I'm still gonna be different. Thank God we did. Thank you, Curtis. I love you. But I'm just saying, listen, I would not be here without the support of my sister. She up there somewhere. I would not be here without the support of Curtis. I would not be here without the support of my mother and father. My father just passed away in September. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you what makes me happy when I think about him is that he got to see his daughter become the millionaire that he always wanted to be. He talked about being a millionaire from the time I came out the womb. He talked about how he was going to be a millionaire. He was going to, listen, when you talk about something so much and you put it out there in the universe and you throw it out there, the universe might not get it specifically right, but they threw it in the right ballpark to the right family, because he didn't become a millionaire, but I did. And I worked hard for it through the work ethic that he gave me. And some of y'all might be saying, well, you know what, I didn't get that kind of work ethic. I don't have that kind of father. It doesn't matter, because guess why? Because what happened to you and what you had and what you didn't have before you got here, Primerica says none of that matters. When you walk in Primerica, you start at zero. It's up to you to do what you want to do at that point. Your past does not matter when you come here. You're the one that makes the past matter. You bring that baggage, you throw it in here. Nobody in Primerica knew what you went through, knew where you came from, knew your problems, your struggles, your issues, until you opened your mouth and you told them. Stop talking your business. Stop poisoning your own downline. See, you can't expect somebody to follow you when you're telling them all your baggage and all your garbage and everything that's going wrong. Listen, I was coming to meetings on a wing and a prayer myself. I was coming to meetings emotionally damaged. I was coming to meetings crying, upset on my way to the meeting. But when I got to that door, baby, I straightened it up, tightened up my bra strap, and walked in there like everything was all right. Because I got to get you to follow me. I got to get you to follow me. And I had to matter to people because I had to attract the right people. Listen, some of y'all are battling with the fact that you're changing. Okay? Listen, now people say, don't let the money change you. The money is definitely going to change me, but it's not going to damage me. I didn't work this hard to not make no money, to not look good, walk different, talk different, act different. It's definitely going to change me. That's a stupid quote. Don't let the money change you. Oh, I'm changing. But for the better. I'm changing for the better. I can't help somebody else if I can't help myself. I was able to retire my family. I was able to retire my parents. Do you understand? My mother has dementia now. So I pretty much lost my mother and my father at the same time, right? But guess what? She's well taken care of. But she was going to get dementia if I was still a probation officer. Then what was I going to do? I remember one time Neil told me this. He said, listen, problems is going to happen. But are you going to work so slow that the problem is going to happen and you still not going to be able to do nothing about it as if you was at your job? So you don't know when it's coming, but the problem's coming. And where you gonna be when it strikes? You still gonna be a district for 55 years? Now, I'm not down in that. What I'm saying is this, you're better than that. Stop saying I'm stuck and I can't get out this rut. Yes, you can. Part of the problem is you keep saying you stuck. Start saying I'm getting up, I'm getting out, I'm changing. Today's the day. Can't nothing stop me. Stop saying that. Start speaking what you want and believe it. I didn't come here to do what I'm doing, and I had to lose a lot of friends in the process. I made a decision to move forward. I lost friends, I lost family, but I don't feel like I lost them. They lost me. Because let me tell you something. I gained a whole new family. Today, I have 12 regional vice presidents. 12 of them, and I love them dearly like they are my family. See, you wanna shine in the circle that you're in, but that's not always the right thing to do. You wanna be challenged in the circle that you're in. You can't mentally challenge me when we sitting up talking about everybody and their mother. I don't want to have a conversation about somebody else's problems and issues and wrongdoings. It's okay to cut that negativity out, because if you continue to be around negative people, you're going to start making decisions based on their life. You cannot make good decisions around bad people. It is okay. And I don't care if it's your sister, mama, daddy, brother, uncle, cousin. I don't care if it's your dog. Get rid of it. If it ain't barking right, put them out. You have zero time to waste. This company is too good. You are too great. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. I am that girl from Compton that technically should not be here. But I'm at the place I've been trying to get to my whole life right now as I stand and breathe on this stage. And guess what? You can too. I love you. I'm proud to be your teammate. Let's go win!
Good evening. It is my pleasure and privilege to be here with you. Look to your left. Look to your right. One of those three, one of you three won't be here 6 months from now. That's good news for some of you, because some of you, the person next to you already left. I used to love when I went to meetings and they would say that, and I'd look to that person, I look to this person and say, you sat next to the wrong person. Because there's one thing I was able to do, is to come back one more time and stay there. And as I came back one more time, I worked my butt off on choosing my attitude. Because our great founder, Art Williams, said, attitude is everything. Every one of us are at the beginning of our futures. And every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And we're all at the we're all at the beginning of our futures. And we get to choose what those futures are going to be. And it's going to be based on the way we think and what we want out of life. I'll come back to the way we think. But I know what many of you want out of your life because I saw the why wall downstairs. Man, there's so many inspirational things on there. But certain people put those names up there and they didn't stay to the end tonight. I get it. They got tired. They got up early this morning. How long's the meeting go? Seems like everybody got an award. Everybody didn't get an award. By the way, recognition is for those people that don't get it. We are where we are today because of meetings when we didn't get recognized. And the way we thought when we didn't get recognized. We could have felt sorry for ourselves or we could have went to work. Very fortunate growing up with Joe and Dennis and Bob because they taught all about the way we think. See, you're who you are today because who you hang out with. You're who you are today because of the decisions you've made. We're who we are today because who we hung out with and hang out with and the decisions we've made. The good news is, where do we want to go to? Where are we headed? You look at this incredible company. We've all made a decision to be part of this company. And when I do this, people say, oh, here goes Meyer. He's such a company guy. He's the company guy. He's the company guy. Yes, I do love the company. And I don't apologize for it. I stood over there just a couple hours ago, and this company announced they paid us $44 million. Me. I came to a meeting, knew nothing about nothing, but I showed up one more time. I made a decision that I was going to work in the way I thought. I appreciated Primerica that they had 3 rings. The first ring is the client. We paid out $2 billion of death claims. $2 billion. But meantime, 38 years ago, I almost got blown out of the business because Mr. Glen, a father of a kid I played high school basketball with, who was an insurance agent, told my father, who's Jimmy working with? My nickname was Stick. Who's Stick working with? Oh, A.L. Williams. Oh, that company don't pay death claims. My father sees me a couple hours later, whenever it was. Hey, Jimmy, I got to talk to you. That company you're with doesn't pay death claims. That would be a concern if you're selling life insurance and we don't pay death claims. I was like, really? We don't pay death claims? He goes, no. I said, who told you? He goes, Mr. Glen. He goes, oh. I go back to the office. My great mentor, Joe, it's like, what's the matter? I said, I don't know, Joe. Just got a little shooken up today. I heard we don't pay death claims. He goes, really? Whose death claim didn't we pay? I go, I don't know. He said, don't you think you should know? I said, yeah, good point. I see my father the next day. He goes, hey, did you get out of that company? I said, no, I had a question for you first. Whose death claim didn't we pay? He said, I don't know. I said, don't you think you should know? A couple days later, my father saw Mr. Glen. Mr. Glen said, hey, Frank, did you get Stick out of that company? No, he actually asked me a good question, Dick. Whose death claim didn't we pay? Well, I don't know. Guess what my father said? Don't you think you should know? See, you look at the agents, $1 billion of commissions. You look at the company, made almost $400 million. But isn't it great to know we want to pay out $4 billion? When we pay $4 billion in death claims, dadgummit, we'll pay our sales force $2 billion. And then the company will make more money. It's a win-win situation. But there's 3 things that we have worked on our whole career. Number 1, have an attitude of gratitude. I am so thankful for the leadership of this company. This whole incredible team, Glen, Peter, Bobby, Julie, Ben. I mean, that team, you just heard about the job Mike and his team has done. It's unbelievable. I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for the maniacs. I am so thankful for that team of people that work the way you work. Last night, at this event, we introduced our Hall of Fame. Some of you commented about our jackets. You're like, wow, it's coincidental. You and Presser have the same jacket. You and Penn have the same jacket. Well, we got them all together, you knuckleheads, okay? But our Hall of Fame people that make over $600,000 a year. My first guest, Carrie Ginsburg, representing the Giants. Scott and Jerry Fletcher, representing the Fletcher team. Tom and Barbara Force, representing the daggum Bulldogs. Dave and Kelly Harms, representing the Power team. Vance and Letha Stay, representing the Steamrollers. Mike and Monica Roten representing the Renegades. Whitney and Rob Cooper representing Triple C. Mark and Kathy Marchesani representing the Marathon. Mike and Kirsten Presser representing the Pitbulls. Jimmy G. DePenn representing the Patriots. And Howard and Maria Lassner representing the Lightning. The Lashlers got 13 diamonds. They increased their income $1.3 million in 12 months. They make more money than we do. I love a company that allows your teammates to make more money than you. Somebody said to me, that must bother you, right? Well, it would suck if he made $38,000 and I made $31,000. I've done pretty good here, okay? I want every daggum maniac to make more money than we make. Nothing would make me damn happier. That's how good this damn opportunity is. But what excites us so much, last night running around to the different breakouts, going to the different breakouts, start off at No Cas Cantina with the Presser Pitbull team, and I got a chance to be around Ted and Tracy Aguilise and the team, our record breakers, a bunch of 20-something-year-old people, and it reminded me of us 38 years ago. I love being around young people. I want to be around them all the time. Where's the clock? Oh, right there. Got it, okay. I was just so awesome, that team. Then went to the Power team meeting with the Harms and the Coopers and got a chance to see Whitney's brother-in-law. Got promoted to RVP in 7 damn months. So proud of daggum Glen. It don't take forever. It takes making a darn decision. And then we had our breakout. At our breakout, we gave out a Chickalina Award at the end, and Chickalina was one of our great leaders early on. Michaelina Ruth, his parents just made such an influence. They're the ones who got us to create the Maniacs. Just an incredible guy. And last night, we gave that award to Michelle Hines. Michelle's another one who lost her husband last year, just suddenly, just like that. I sit there and watch these stories today, just rips my heart out, because we're only here for a flicker. A flicker. And then we had the daggum Quaven team just dominate the recognition, led by Cornell and Dion Penn and the Peralta and Rochi Bay Shop. So proud of what those guys are doing with the youth. And then the Gilman team and the Force team going for the youth. I leave you tonight with this. We're at halftime. When you go to sleep tonight, most of us ain't gonna go to sleep. We're gonna go meet with our teams and do different kind of things. Don't you dare go to sleep tonight and tell yourself, man, I'm gonna be exhausted tomorrow. Holy crap, it's already 1 o'clock in the morning. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God, I'm gonna stop setting that as a goal. You go to sleep tonight and say, I'm gonna take a 3-hour nap, baby. I'm gonna be ready tomorrow to go one more time. One more time. See, remember, you can't reach what's in front of you until you let go what's behind you. I have failed in so many things in life. It's embarrassing, many of you, but I'm thankful I gave myself a chance to love one more time. And Kimberly, I want you to know, baby, I love you. I've not done well in the relationship world. Those of you who've been around here for a while, you know that. I've become a joke. Who's Jimmy with now? Well, I'm with my forever now, Kimberly. I'm so thankful that I could go one more time. You need to go one more time. One more time for an appointment. One more time for a daggum Zoom. One more time for talking to somebody. One more time to dream. One more time to live the life you and your family deserve. Why? Because you deserve it. God bless you, and I'm proud and honored to be your teammate one more time.
too long since we got it on, but we're synchronizing, and what's so wrong about being strong? This is our uprising. Here we go, we're ready to blow. Here we go, this place will explode. Here we go, we're ready to blow. Here we go, this place will explode.
The foundation of what we've been built on is close personal relationships and trust.
I want to be somebody. I want to change my situation. In Primerica, they gave me a shot. And we're giving you a shot tonight.
If you stand up and go for significance, nothing will stop you from winning. Here we go, we're ready to blow. Here we go, this place will explode. Here we go, we're ready to blow. Here we go, this place is gonna explode. Don't you wanna wake up from this long, lonely dream? Don't you wanna wake up free? Don't you wanna wake up from this long, lonely dream? Don't you wanna wake up? Here we go, we're ready to blow.